can practice and try some first exercise for beginner. Basic programming. Please center down. That's what stopped. Can you see anything from here? Up here, up to the- Something wrong.
máy mà tôi 12 rồi đóng tay
Okay. Please settle down. May I ask, do you know which group you are in? For B1 student, you are divided into two groups, Group A and Group B. You Group B. Okay. Group B. Okay, only few of you are from my city. A lot of you from my city. Data science. Yes, nice. Also someone from double degree. You know, we expect a lot from double degree students. Now, come back to what we are trying to do here. Let's warm up a little bit. Please, don't look at your computer. Don't search on your mobile phone. Don't talk to your classmates. Please concentrate on your mind. Use your brain. Try to remember 1 week ago, last Friday at the same time. We're about class 1. What did we discuss last time? Please shout out a word, keywords that relates to the previous section.
HTML.
HTML? HTML. Really? Others, please. GCC, good. What is GCC? A compiler. Yes, you have another word. Compiler. keywords, please?
C.
C, okay. Shout. Please speak louder. Today you will speak louder than me. I have a short throat, I cannot shout. Now any other keywords? Can you speak louder? What is it? Any keywords? Don't be shy. Goat, goat. Okay. Anything else? Goat. Any other keywords? Huh? Don't be shy. That's all?
No, not yet.
We spent 3 hours to talking only these. Any other words? Other keywords? Yes? Not here. From this corner? Yes? Translator. Okay. Translator. Any other word?
Programming.
Huh?
Programming.
Programming, okay. You have the translator, but not exactly the translator. The translator, but in programming, it's the compiler. Or interpreter, very good. And you mentioned about programming. Programming. You bet. Oh, let me do this.
C++.
Programming. We have C, C++, programming. What else? Programming, and actually we mentioned about the definition. What is a program? A computer. Anything else? What is a program again? What is a program? What is a program? You mentioned about concept of programming. What is it? What is a program and what is programming? And why you mentioned about translator? Now we're coming from a problem, right? To solve problem, some solution is proposed. And we want to solve, to implement, to solve the problem using computer. So you have to translate this into what? To something the computer can do it. Program. And this solution can be described as an algorithm. Yes. This algorithm is written in human-like language. Human-like language. Human. Like language. Okay? And then this program must be translated using a translator. Either it's a compiler or interpreter into, what is it? Machine language. Machine language is binary. 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, etc. The binary language. Thus the computer can process, run, and return the result to you. Help you to solve the problem, answer the question, replace you. No, don't let machine replace you. They work, the computer work under the control of human, because you are the one who writes the program, who writes the solution and ask the computer to solve it. And of course, human, you have the brain, being able to connect, analyze, and you have emotions. So remember that you have the brain, and you are human. Don't let the computer replace yourself. Like, such as, whenever you are asked a question, you search for this instead of think about this. For example, during the examination, you try to cheat, ask ChatGPT for the solution and answer instead of thinking by yourself. So if you agree to let the machine replace yourself, you will do this stuff. But stop worrying about this if you still have a brain and try to think. Think, analyze, memorize, etc. Okay? So, previous session, we have discussed about the concept of programming, how we use the computer to help us to solve daily life problem. Okay? The important thing is only you have to describe the solution of the problem by algorithm. That can be translated, that can be written in programming language. And the other task of translation belongs to the compiler and interpreter. Right. I hope you can distinguish between interpreter and compiler. For the language C, programming in C, we use compiler or interpreter. Compiler, yes, compiler. And the compilation process, there are several steps in the compilation process. If you forget about this, open again the slide to have a check. And for the first practical session, actually you get on well with using compiler in order to translate from a hello world some simple code into the machine machine code and see what happened. Capture output or result. And in order to run the compiler, you have to install the environment. Right? That includes the editor and the compiler itself. We suggest you to use GCC. GCC. Easy to use. In any operating system, you can use GCC to compile the C program. And now the problem is how to write a C program. Have you tried and successfully compile the first program? The hello world? This works? Hope so? Or you think so? Not sure? Or this we have to do here. Now, this was last time, and for today's session, it's very important. Very important. It's like you start learning alphabet before make a habit. So today we study the alphabet of the programming, not yet make it pro. And for today's session, we're talking about variables, data type, and operators. Maybe you have heard the tip several times, but I still want to remind you again. Is that before doing anything, you have to understand the terms first. So make sure that you understand the terms during the course. It's help you to understand the questions. And then it's help you to search, think, analyze, and find the answer. So the terms first. And today we will work with the three terms: variables, data types, and operator. In order to understand these stuff and how it's happened in the computer, we have to understand about the computer memory. What is computer memory? Where is it? In the hard disk? This is storage. It's not the memory. You study computer architecture before? No? Introduction to informatics?
Yes.
Yes? It's mentioned about computer architecture. What inside your computer? The hardware. Right? You don't remember? I think so. So I may ask, everyone have a computer here. Where is your memory? The memory in your computer. Where is this? Can you point it out? Where is it? It's inside, outside? Inside, yes, it's not in cloud, it's inside your computer. Which part? Is it the keyboard? No, not the screen part. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. So now you will know if you have a computer memory. Actually, the RAM. Whenever we're talking about memory, we often refer it as the RAM. RAM. Someone heard about ROM also? ROM. memory. But in programming, and especially for us who work in ICT, whenever we're talking about memory, we refer it to RAM, a random access memory inside a computer. Inside the computer. It's made of, what is this made of? The material. I'm asking about material. What is this made of? It's RAM. We heard a lot about RAM.
Yeah.
It's made of? You don't know. Have you ever buy a new RAM? Upgrade the computer?
Yes.
How does it look like? RAM.
The screen is half of the phone.
It looks like chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Chocolate bar.
No, already.
But inside, it's a lot of rows and columns of what? Of memory cells, bits. Okay? Each bit, it can be, in the term of hardware, it can be a transistor or flip-flop gate, flip-flop circuit. But anyway, you can imagine RAM as a chocolate bar. Chocolate bar. And each line, chocolate bar like this. Okay? And inside is groups of bits that are organized in rows, in row. And each row contains 8 bits and counted as a memory cell. Memory cell. 8 bits is a byte. A byte in the RAM is a memory cell. Okay? And let's see. We have a chocolate bar like this. Whenever your computer has to do some tasks, it has to compute. For example, you ask it, what is the result when you add 1 by 1? 1 is added by 1, return 2. 12. No? Return 2, if we are talking about decimal. 1 added by 1, return 2. So let's say if you ask the computer, you input 1 plus 1. So inside the computer, we need somewhere to store the value of the first number is 1, the second number is 1, and the operator is the addition. And the result you store somewhere here is the result when you add the value of this memory cells to the second memory cells and returns the value 2. This is how it's called by the CPU. The CPU process, it has to do some computation. And during the computation process, it needs the memory. Okay, now the chocolate bar. What is it inside? You can imagine the chocolate bar can be divided into several areas that we call the code segments. Code segments, how many areas? 4. 4 areas. And here we call the word segments. 4 segments. With the name, the code segments, data segments, heap segments, and stack segment. Correspondingly, these segments are used with different purpose. For the code segment, it will store the binary code after the compilation, right? Compile the code. the data segment store all the data. For example, 1 added by 1, it will store 1. Store the second, 1 added by 2, it will store the value 1, store the value 2. They are called variables in the data. And for heap segment, it's the same, it stores data. But for this kind of data, you can change their contents of memory cells. For the stack, it's for local. In order to understand global and local, you have to wait until the lecture function. But just keep in mind, we have 4 segments. They used to store different type of data. That's all. Right? The chocolate bars with 4 segments. 1 for the nut, 1 for the milk, 1 for the choco, and the rest is mixed. Now, as I mentioned, let's say we crack the chocolate bar. In each row in the chocolate bar is a byte that contains 8 bits. 8 bits is the byte. Okay? And each byte, or often you can know this as memory cells. Each memory cells have an address. So over here you have to distinguish between several values that we have here. The memory cell itself, the byte, the address of the cell, and the contents of the cells. Can you compute it? Can you compute this? Convert this into decimal. Convert it, please, into decimal. 10010. Convert it into decimal. Can you convert it? I should call someone. Convert it. How to convert it? Let's change. Please don't care about this. I will change this into 1 here. Okay. Can you convert it? I call someone. Any volunteer? 26? 26? We have first answer is 26. Anyone has other answer? You agree with this? Who agree with this value 26? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What about the other? Thank you. The other. Do you have other without?
26.
It's 26?
Yeah.
Let's check. How can you convert it? Okay. We have the byte like this. Let us convert. 2 power. The positional value. 0. multiply. Phew. It's 0. 0 plus 2 power 3 plus, and I believe that you can compute it yourself. It's 26. Got it? Okay, so please distinguish between what we have. We have the address. The address is completely different from the content. The address here is different from the content is 26. I hope you know this. You know this or not yet? You can convert between byte, kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, petabyte.
Yes.
Okay? So 1 kilobyte is not 1000 byte. It's 1024, which means 2 power 10. Now, this is what we understand about computer memory, a chocolate bar. And let's say, now we use this chocolate bar to store information. There exists two types of, it's called identifiers, not identifiers. What is it called? Two entities that we can store the value inside it. The variables and constants. Variable and constant are the same. It's a name area in the memory. Name area. It's like we have a chocolate bar. Oh, I draw it's not very nice. With several lines like this. Each of this is a byte. That include 8 bits, and it has the address. I can call this 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay? And let's say for the variables are constants. You can select several bytes. For example, I choose this 2 bytes and name it x. So we have the variable x. Our constant x depends on how you define it. Now you choose 2 bytes to store the value of x. Let's say if x is an integer, what is the maximum unsigned integer or natural number? What is the maximum value that x can obtain? If we choose, we name 2 bytes at the address 2 and 3 to store the value of x. What is the maximum value of x can be? X is a natural number. What is the maximum value of x can be? If we choose 2 bytes at the address 2 and 3 to store the value of the variable x. What is the maximum value? Don't search it. Remember, you are human. What is the maximum value? 2 bytes. How many bits is it?
1048.
How many bits is it? 16. 16 bits. So the maximum value of 16 with 16 bits can store is okay, let's say we have 2 bits. 2 bits. How many value that you can store with these 2 bits? 2 bits? 4, yes? Right? You have 2 bits. Each bits have only, can be either 0 or 1. So if you list out, we have 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So there are 4 values. So if you use these 2 bits to store a natural number, so you can store only the value 0, 1, 2, and 3. 4 values. The maximum is 3. And now we have 16 bits to store a natural number. So the maximum value that it can store is, you can count yourself, 2 power 16 minus 1. Alright, so variable or constant is actually a name area in the memory. You name it. And how many bytes that you select to name it, it depends on what you want to store. If you want to store a natural number less than 10, how many bytes you need to store it? How many bytes? If you want to store a natural number smaller than 10, how many bytes you need to store it? 4 bytes. 4 bits. 4 bits. 8 bits is a byte, so you need, if I ask you how many bytes, you need only 1 byte. Okay? And fortunately, you don't have to ask the computer to select how many bytes to store a value. What you have to do is just define what you want to store in the memory. And depending on the value of the thing that you want to store, you select the corresponding data types that I will mention later in the coming slides. Okay? And remember that we have a variable to store a value. It's actually you name an area in the memory. Name. And depending on what you want to store. For example, if you want to store a natural number, so the data type, the type of this must be a natural number, or integer, unsigned integer, INC. If you want to store the GPA of the student, what kind of number is this? It's a fractional number. A fractional number. Can it be negative? Do you have a negative GPA? No. So it must be positive fractional number. This is a data type. You decide what kind of data type is it. And the scope of the variable is mean when you can access to this name area and read the value with the same name. under the same name in the variable. Now the variable name, we have the convention for this. The rule you have to follow. If you name this wrongly, your program will show the error. So please, I want answer any questions related to why my code doesn't run. If the error will show the identifier, the name of the variable, something wrong with this. So remember, for variable name, the same as the identifier last week I mentioned. It can include letter, digits, and underscore. It cannot contain a special character. First character must be letter or underscore, so it shouldn't be a number. The first letter. Uppercase and lowercase are distinct. So the variable name A, small name, big A are different. And you cannot use the reserved keywords for reserved words or the keywords for the variable name. Do you remember any reserved words? Reserved words in the program last week we mentioned? Like such as? Do you remember any keywords? Not a keyword, reserved word in the C program. Any keyword? You cannot name a variable the same as a keyword. So what are the keywords? What are the reserved words? Such as? So in this example, what are the keywords?
int,
Yes, int, int.
while,
While, yeah, while, while. Name, yes, if it's the main function. Not exactly, you can name the function with another name, but only the main function is called by the operating system when you start the program. Right. Now, I think you heard about this. Which of the following name is the valid name for C variable? The first one, is this valid?
no,
No? Why?
lưu ý ạ. Tức là được.
First one is valid? You feel this one? No, this is the bullet, not this. We start from here. This is correct? The first character is the underscore. And it is settable for the variable name. You can start with underscore, provided that is not a number. First character must be a letter or underscore. So the first letter is underscore, it's acceptable, right? Isn't it? And underscore is not the special character. Any questions? Questions? Are you okay with that? Do you that? Okay. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. Just raise your hand. This one is correct enough?
No.
3 students. No. Third?
Yes.
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 Student. Yes. Student acrobats.
No idea.
Is it valid or not? Who say yes? Who say yes? Who say no? You said no. No, okay. Good. Why? The acrobats is the special character. Good. Return.
Yes.
Yes? Who say yes?
Nó là cái câu lệnh.
Who say no?
No.
No?
Yeah.
It's yes. Yes or no?
À không, cái này.
The keyword.
Okay.
The keyword is the lowercase. So it's valid, however, don't use it. However, don't use it. First problem is it's very not recommend. It's not recommend. Because these words is nearly identical to the keyword return. First thing. The second thing, by convention, we name the variable with the lowercase letter. Start with lowercase letter. So you shouldn't use it. Not recommend. Yes? Which one is English? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is valid but not recommend also. Okay. Sorry. We use only underscore. Yes.
So that's not valid.
Nice. I miss it. It's incorrect. This one is not underscore. Good? Very good. So whenever you find name, you can name the variable with your name, with your friend name, with your dog's name, with your cat name, whatever. Try to follow the convention, and it must be a valid name. Right? 5 minutes break, and then we continue. Okay? 5 minutes.
Ôi, xong rồi.
refresh.
Yeah, not yet. Let's go.
We start here only 40 or 5 minutes in consecutive. And it's like you need half an hour to refresh. Let's continue. If possible, nothing is possible. Every break, every single break, please stand up, turn around, breathe, drink water. Okay? You have to change the position. It's the reason why I give you the break every 50 minutes. You need to refresh. Your brain needs to be refreshed. Now you are young, no problem. But the next 10 years, you can feel it.
Start the back.
Sitting all day long. A lot of dizzy incomes. Now, come back to what we have here. So we have to define the name. This was the name. The scope of the variable. When you start programming something, you learn about control flow, some programming structure. You will see the code will have a structure. And you will see in some code there is this, the parenthesis like this, parenthesis like this. Okay? And the scope of the variable is depending on where it's declared. Where the variable is declared. We define the scope of it. For example, now are you ready to continue? Okay, so in this example, we have how many variables are there in this piece of code? How many variables are there in this program? 3, good. And they have different scope. Over here. Now from the outside. This is called the variable declaration. It means you declare a variable, give it a name and the data type. This is a data type. This is the name. Now 3 things. 3 features of a variable you have to define is first the name, the data type, and the scope. After declaration of, okay, you can figure out yourself. You will figure out yourself. These 3 variables have different scopes. And depending on the color. For variable declaration, any variable must be declared before use. It's like You have to define everything before you talking about this. We're trying to learn language here. For learning language, we are learning alphabets. To declare a variable, you have, actually it's a line of code. You have to declare the name, the type, and any description about this variable. And the syntax is the type first and then the name. On the description, you keep it as a command. Comment or command. Command. The command must be kept inside this two symbol. Open and close for the command. Right? And during the compilation, the computer will exclude the command if we won't compile command. This is an example. What is the type? What is the name of the variable in this example? Which one is the name? Which one is the name? The black or the blue? The black, yes. So this is the name of the variable. And this is the type. Can you guess what type is it? We use this variable to store what kind of data? To store, what is it? The float. The command said that this variable we use to store the average GPA, not GPA. URBI 13 student. So it must have a form of positive fractional number. It's like 18.5. Anyone got 18.5? What is your GPA? Average GPA to now? 12? 12 point something? 82? 20? Okay, so if you want to store your GPA of BI 13 student, we need a variable that has the type, the float type. This means the fractional number with the floating point with the precision of two numbers after the floating point, isn't it? And this number should be smaller or equal to 20. Now, but sometimes you find the declaration with some initial value. It's called initial value. Now, what does it mean? This line of code. This is a declaration of a variable. What is the name of the variable? What is the name of the variable over here? Z. Name. What is the data type? Integer. Yes, if you know about this, it's int. Type. And what does it mean? This 30. Let's say we have a memory. And we choose 2 bytes to store the value of z. Okay? And you declare that these 2 bytes will be used to store an integer number like int z equal to 30. It means you set it this value 30. What is 30 into binary? What is 30 in binary? What is 30 in binary? What is 30 in binary? One. What is it? 4 1 0. So 2 power 4 plus 2 power 5. Sorry, 3, 8. 8, 4, 12, 14. Yes. Okay, so it should be like this. 0, 1, 0, 0. For example. So, in the declaration, you already initialize, we call it initialize the value of the variable. Either you can write in the same lines or you can separate it. That's 2 commands. 2 lines of code. And the operation equal is you. We call this assignment operation. Assignment operation. Assignment operation. Now, let's say we choose in the chocolate bar. Always look very crazy. Over here is Z. At this point, the value of Z is alright. After these 4 lines of code, what is D equal to? Minus 90. Okay? This means we have consecutively reassigned the value of Z. Previously you mentioned about float, int, and they are exactly the basic types. Can you guess are these basic data types. Now, this int to store the value of what type number? Integer. Float. Real number. Is this real? Real number. I often call this fractional number. With, for example, 18.95, your GPA, something like that. Integer, like what? 20. Double. What about double? It's the same as float, but the range is different. Char, can you guess? For what? Character, yes, or letter. Letter is one kind of character. We have character, we have letter, number, or special character. Like A, or something like 20. Sorry. Only one. Void. What does it mean, void? Void, nothing. Nothing. It's null. No value. A value, a data type to store no value, but it's still required. Now, first for this, you have int, float. You define the data type at the beginning of the variable declaration. Let's say for integer, the same, you use int, the keywords is int. It's a whole number without decimal point. Decimal number with floating point, decimal point. You can call it decimal point. Corresponding to the data type, you have to select the correct function to print it out. Last time I mentioned about printf and scanf. I think you have already practiced with that.
Yes.
Yeah. For printf function, the syntax is you call printf is the name of the function, and then over here you have to define the format of the expression, what you want to print out. And actually you have to define the data type to be printed out. Want to print out an integer, you have to use %d. Have you tried it? What happens if you change from %d to %c? The result is different? The same? It's dependent. Okay, and you will see over here, corresponding to the 2 %d. the part of you specify the data type to print out the two position here. Corresponding, we will have two value. This is the value. And this is another variable, but we don't name it. We compute it from the previous one. Another range of integer. We have several types of integer. Unsigned, signed, short, long, long. And what is this? This defines how many bytes we will use to store the value. Hey, guys and girls. Do you care about this course?
Yes.
Yes? Who don't care about this course, you can leave and go out, go to the park or eat something or coffee shop, whatever. Don't just stay in the class and talk. And now what happened with other course? Maybe I'm too soft to you. I don't want to be strict.
No.
So please, if you have something to say, to talk together, to discuss, just go out. I don't care about this. I didn't check for attendance either. So please, I give you 5 minutes for break, so you use it well. And after 5 minutes break, try to concentrate. The rest, 45 minutes, over 50 minutes, talk only 5 minutes. Okay? Because when you talk, I'm thinking, should I say more? Or just say whatever in the slide? No, nothing more. Should I add some value here? Right? If you feel it's quite boring, you can silently, secretly, discreetly use your computer to test some program. Not playing game. If playing game, go out. You can type some program. Not in this slide, but you can do the lab work, for example, of this course. This will be useful. Don't waste your time, and don't waste my time. Okay? If you talk, I will change the method of teaching. I will ask you to come and do the exercise randomly. Maybe it's more interesting. Right? Now, in this part, we're talking about variable, we're talking about integer data type. And inside the integer data type, we have several other groups. And they are differs from each other in the range, in their range of the value that they can store. And depending on how large the number is it, the number of bytes will be selected. If it's you who select this, select the number of bytes over here. No, you are the one to select which data type you have to use. How many bytes should be used? It's the compiler will do that. You will do only this. Select the corresponding type. So this is the range. If you want to store a number, it can be as large as 4 billion. More than 4 billions, like this. You will need to use long integer. Or if you work to a small number, only up to 65,000, you need only the unsigned short integer. These options help you to optimize the usage of memory. Be aware of that. Okay, that's where it's the variable. We have the constant. The same. The constant. You name a variable in the memory. However, you cannot change. During the program, this area in the memory stores the same value. This value doesn't change. And the syntax to declare for constant is the same like variable. But instead of, but you need to add the constant in front of the data type. And then this is the name, I is the name of the variable. Correspondingly. And also to initialize, you have to add some letters here. You will see. This is 100 L, 100 U, 100 UL, alright? And 100 LU. Why is it so complex? Anyway, it's you define what is the type of the data. The type of the data will be stored in the variable. You heard about numbering system? Who studied B0 last year? Who studied B0 last year? Several of you may attend the course last year for B0. We mentioned about numbering system. Who has studied last year B0 in B0? They are very good at computer architecture, I believe that. And they are aware of numbering system. Numbering system, we can count the number in a different way, in different base. We have binary, decimal, hexadecimal, right? And you can initialize a constant of a variable using different numbering system. For example, octal 023. And the octal, when you convert this into decimal, what is it? It's 19. It's not 23. Octal. And if you add, this is the binary OB0101. It means all the previous bits are 0. And this is converted back into 5. Why is 5? Yeah, it's 5. In binary. And in hexa, this is in hexa. And in decimal, it's 35. Converted. So you can flexibly assign a number, a value to a variable using different numbering system. And the floating point number that I mentioned using decimal points, 5.0 is floating point number, but 5 is integer number. You have to be careful when you declare it. If you declare the number at 5.0, the number will be stored in the memory as the floating point number. Otherwise, it will be integer without the point 0. And the range, the declaration is like this. To declare the number with the point, you have float, double, and long double. And what is this? What is this value? so strange. This is 1.89 in the data long double. But what about this? 12E2. This looks strange. What is it? Try write a program, declare a variable, double variable like this, and print it out. How to print out a float? A number with decimal point. You can try over here. Now with the printf, you use the percentage, but not d, percentage f, and you define this number. What does it mean? This percentage 3.5. F is float, 3 and 5. It means you can count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this means you want to print out the number of digits, 5 digits after the floating point. Okay, this is the precision. This is the precision. And this is the width. Minimum number of characters to be printed out. 3. Must be 3 in this graph. Okay? Now, but if we want to print out the double value, long double value, you have to add the L instead of F. If you want to print out. So please define what data type you want to print out. The first is the character. We use single bind to store value of a character. Star. What is the difference between these two? What if you print it? A is percentage. C. Can you guess the output? Or you want to test with a computer? Write out some code? Write out some code? Open the Hello World code, type it. Can you guess? Please try to edit the Hello World with add these 3 lines of code and tell me the result. Who has the computer here? Try it. Type these 3 commands inside the main function and run it. main function of the hello world file.
thêm trang và chịu đựng để cho nên rất để thêm bạn cho thầy. Anh nhớ chia sẻ với mình nhé. Thì có Asi con quay lâu.
Can you tell me the result? Yes? What is it? A. Both? Yes. And you see the declaration. You can declare it as the character keep inside a single quote, or you can declare the number corresponding to its value in ASCII code or Unicode.
Teacher. Cái function call ở cuối kia là sao? Không, đây. Em hỏi cái function call rồi. Vâng.
How to run the code? You can use GCC, and then the name of the file is hello1.c, right? And you can run the file, the jfond a.out. Here is the result. Okay? So you know how to declare a character. Print out. How to print out? You use %C. The last type is void, no value. You use this where you call a function that returns no value or procedure. If someone study Pascal procedure, Pointer, return to void. What is the pointer? Later you can study. Function had void argument. What are the arguments of function? Later. We have also the complex number. In order to work with complex number, you need to add the library. All the functions related to complex. And so you have to include the header file, complex.h. And also you can work with a constant, etc. The variable with fixed number is slightly disorder here. To define a constant, as I said, you can add the constant before the type, or you can use the keywords, the sharp, and define. And from this, after this line, the variable or the constant pi will have the value of 3.14159. And the same here, pi. When you print out, when you print out the pi will equal to 3.14159. If you print it out, the pi. Remember, we always need to select the correct data type. Okay, you can check this code and find out if there is any problem with this code. Now can you list out all the variables in this piece of code? Any variable? Over here? Variable. Can you list out? Call someone? Phạm Nguyên Phương. Nguyên Phương. Are you here? Phạm Nguyên Phương. Action. Strange. Hoàng Minh Quân. Minh Quân. Hoàng Minh Quân. Action 2 is not this class. Nguyễn Tường Quang. Action. Đào Long Vũ. No. It's group B.
Yes, B.
Very high probability is that the student is action. Bùi Thái Hoàng Minh. Are you here? Bùi Thái Hoàng Minh. Action. Strange. Lưu Nguyên Tuệ Minh. Tuệ Minh. Action. Am I in the wrong class? Bùi Chính Nguyên. Chính Nguyên. Action. Let me see. Lê Nhật Anh. Nhật Anh. I know the spell to pull you back. Nhật Anh is action. Trần Phương Trà My. You are here? Actions? It's her? If you don't stand up, I will tell you as an action. And we have only 8 lectures. You shouldn't action for more than 30%. Okay, Chami. Can you list out all the variables in this course? Sorry, not in this course. In this program. In this course is infinite. Chami.
The first is 6. Is correct? Is Jeremy sold? Pep sold? Mark sold? Ralph Carter? Is integer. Mix is a red quarter. It's a quarter soap. Quarter soap. It's a real number. Real number. Real number. Revenue per 100. Yeah. Can you choose for me? Which one is collect for?
My name is Ibrik. So I think the revenue per 150 is a fixed variable. It's called a growth, a constant growth.
Thank you, with me. Now you are famous. sold. Any problem with this code? Do you think is there any problem with this code? Any problem with this code? We have several variables, and you can see the variable quarter sold is computed from the 4 other variables with the same data type, right? However, the variable ref quarter have the data type is float is computed from quarter sold and a float constant. The quarter sold has different data type compared to ref quarter. You can check yourself if anything happened. The issue comes depending on the compiler. So sometimes you run this computer it works, but it's create a bug when you run it in another system. Right, you can try this code home. Okay, over here you can see we have to choose the corresponding data type to what we want to display. Stock sold is number of products, so it must be a natural number. And for sales, for revenue, it must be a floating point number, decimal number. Okay, and to print out, I have to give you the hint. To print the character, you use percentage, C, percentage, D for integer, percentage, E for floating point number, if you need this form. And we will use F, floating point number. G, S, a string. What is a string? Is, for example, A is the letter, but H, A is a string. Hey is a string. With space. All this is a string. String of characters. If you want to print out, for example, you want to print out hello world, and space. You want to print out this string, you have to use the print out with the code percentage S. And you will see, sometime in the code you will find the slash after the printf. Like this. Tests. You can try the code. The slash. Oops, it's not very nice. Sorry. Less some new line slash and you will see it will print out the left party and start a new line. Or you try it with silver thing like this, question mark, etc. Play with it. Now maybe the basic data types doesn't satisfy what you want. And nowadays data is there are a lot of kind of data. And you will need to create a new type of data. You can use an enumeration. It's kind of keywords. You can use the example over here. You can define an enumeration with the name, date, width, and then list out all the value that you want to add, like a library, dictionary. Okay. Right, 5 minutes break. Now speak whatever you want. You can sing, dance, but not in the class. multiplied by x plus 5, added by 5, in which 2x and 5 are operand. We call it operand. And multiplication and addition, they are operator. Okay? And there are many operators, not just addition, subtraction, multiplication, but also many others. We have arithmetics. The familiar thing, they are just arithmetic operators. Otherwise, we have relational operators. You compare two expressions. Logical, piecewise assignment, and some other operators that we cannot classify into any classes. Okay, these 4 operators are familiar. The modulo remainder after division, that's return the remainder. For example, what is the result of 5 modulo 2? What is the result? 1. Yes. The remainder. Try it in order to use. What is this result? Can you guess? A plus plus. What does it mean? C equal to A plus 1. C equal to A minus 1. You check it in order to figure out what does it mean. Besides the arithmetic operators, we have relational operator. This return true or false. Correspondingly, we have 1 or 0. Is this 5 equal to 3? No. So 5 equal to 3 is false. So it's returned 0. Evaluate as 0. We don't use the assignment. This one is true. So return 1. Okay? So the result of this relational operator return only 1 or 0. You can test this yourself. We have logical operators. And or not. And or not. You can check for the truth table and or not. Over here. And or not. And actually we work with true or false. 1 or 0. Test this yourself. The bitwise operators. We have and or, exclusive or. right? Binary complement operator is usually operator left shift, right shift. You have a truth table over here. A or sword. Okay? It's actually bitwise. It means you work with the bit 0 and 1. Okay, you can test yourself. Now I want to mention here, this is OR. What is it, sword? Not. Is it not? You haven't seen it here. Yeah. Complement. One complement. Okay, it's like you have A is 60, which is in binary letters, and after the complement, one complement is returned 61, but with the minus. Shift 1 bit, shift 2 bit to the right and shift to the left. The same here. After you shift to the left 2 bits, you have this one, and reversely on the right. You will have this one. Shift. You can learn it yourself. We have assignment operators like this. Plus minus, minus equal, multiply. Can you guess the result? This one. Right. Now, after this first line, what is C? What is the value of A and C? A is? What is the value of A? Value of A is 21. And C? 21. And 20? This one means C is A plus C. This one? Really? C minus A minus C. Sorry, C minus A. Okay? This one? Again? C is 141. 400. C is 21. A is 21. And now C is over A. Okay? Now that's why C is 200. A is 221. And what is the result? C is C multiple the remainder of the division C to A is, what is its result? And this one? Oh, it's more difficult. You have to convert this 11 into binary. Now at this point, what is this in binary? 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay? And after shift to the left 2 bits, this one C is 1, 1, 0, 0. Binary. Alright? And you continue with the others. The assignment operators. We have some miscellaneous operators, such as, what is that? What is this? Additional expression. It's somewhere before it. Various sense of language. No. Okay. Now for this code, you can try in your computer and answer the meaning of this operator. After this computation, you can print out the value of B. It's like you check for the condition if A equal to 1 or not. If it's equal to 1, B will be 20 or 30. Okay, and the same as you do some math, we have some precedence in C. Some operator must be done in advance compared to the other. Like multiplication must be done in precede compared to addition. Some rule. Alright, after some time, after some practical time, you can remember these rules. Now, some student has asked me, over there, yes, a type conversion. Last time I remember who asked me, 2 students come and ask me about, yeah, you too. We mentioned about the case that we have different variable with different data type in the computation. So we have to convert them into the same data type. And there are two types of conversion. The implicit type conversion and explicit type conversion. The implicit type conversion is made by the compiler. As you two ask if what you have to do in this case. The two students over there. You ask what we do in the case that we have different data type in computation. We have two types, implicit conversion and explicit conversion. The implicit is done by the compiler itself. So when you type, it's compiled. For explicit, you have to do it yourself. You have to add the data type before the expression to change everything back into the same data types. It's not automatically, it's manually. Something like this. The example that you've done before. Over here, if you do nothing, the compiler will convert the type automatically. This is the implicit way. And if you want to convert it, you have to, I think there's a mistake here, you have to add the data type. For example, in this code, you will see the red quarter is the float data type, while the quarter sold is a short integer. Revenue per 150 is float, so you can add a float before the quarter sold to change every variable in the same data type, which is float. Okay. I think I have to add the code here. I have to add here the float. Okay, the data type you add float. Keep it inside the braces. I have to check this. I have to correct it. If you want to use some function, more complex function, you can use the mathematical function and you need to add the header math.h. Right? In the next few lab words, you will need this library, this header math.h.